Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday, January 6, 2026. It is very foggy out there. Very foggy across parts of Birmingham. Cloudy. Maybe see a little sunshine a little later on. 65, the daytime high. We'll have a mix of clouds and sun for tomorrow. Get this, a high of 70. Thursday, partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain. 71 is the high. And look out Friday night into early Saturday, about a 70% chance of showers. So a little bit of rain on the way. We got a few problems out there on the roadways, and Phil is keeping us up to date with that. Glad you're with us. You're listening to Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Again, be careful out there. Getting a lot of calls. Turn on your lights. Don't turn on your emergency flashers. And I was like, okay.
And by the way, the brights do nothing in the fog.
Not
They
much.
just bounce right back off. So, keep them low. If you got fog lights, turn them on by all means.
I noticed on the way in, and I travel a good portion of my drive into Homewood on 65, not a single one of those lights were on.
Yeah, the overhead lights. Yeah.
Every single, from 459 all the way into Homewood, not a single light on this morning. I was like, this would be a good morning to have some of those lights. Why are these not working?
It's a good question.
Here we go again.
That's a good question.
I never understand that. I was like,
When you drive through a downtown area that is lit up well, that the interstate the lights actually work, it's a little bit shocking,
It makes a big difference.
I drive in every day in Birmingham, and they're never working. The lights don't work. It's a complete crapshoot.
It is.
On a day-to-day basis, whether or not you're actually going to be able to see the road outside of your own headlights. In Germany, they have lights over the Autobahn to the point where turning on your lights is kind of considered obnoxious.
No need for them, huh?
You shouldn't have to turn on your car lights on the Autobahn. Now, that's for back roads,
Right.
But yeah, we don't do that here in the United States. We're just, especially not in Birmingham, where every other light is off on a good day, and on a bad day, none of the lights are working.
Yep.
8:08 with Dixon and Vining. Would you like to hear the Jeff
joke of the day? Y'all get ready for this one. He's coming on strong.
Here it comes.
You seem uncertain of this one here, Richard.
I always seem uncertain of Jeff's jokes of the day.
Oh, okay.
3 golf clubs walk into a bar. The putter orders a beer, and the bartender gives it to him. The wedge orders a tequila, and the bartender gives it to him. Then the bartender turns to the third club, says, "What can I get you?" He says, "Nothing, I'm the driver."
Oh, Steve, I thought that was a good one.
No.
I was giving him. That was awesome.
Steve
You know
got
what,
that right.
You know what, Jeff? I liked it.
Steve got that one right.
I like the joke. Thank you, Jeff. You pay no attention to Richard and to
I actually
Steve.
thought yesterday's was better.
Again, you're grading on a curve. You don't be grading on a curve. You should be grading on, is it funny or is it not funny? Those are the two
That's
choices.
funny. Come on.
No, I am grading it on a particular scale, not on a curve. I thought yesterday's was better. I'm not
Okay.
saying by how much.
Okay.
But I thought
But did
yesterday's
it
was
really
better.
deserve crickets?
Yeah.
Not sure
it
if
did.
today's
I
deserve
think so.
crickets.
Maria says, I called the DOT about no streetlights on 65 between the Oxmoor and 459. They said, well, the copper's been stolen.
All right.
Now,
Nice excuse. When are you
hold
going
on
to
a
fix
second.
it?
Is
Yeah.
that for real?
I have no idea.
Probably, yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to get copper out of those lights?
No, believe it or not, I've never tried. That's hard to believe.
You might actually be surprised at how easy it is.
Never
That's
actually put
just-
the effort in.
Come on. I tell you what, put the copper up a little higher in the. You know how tall those? Put the copper up a little higher.
I think it has
Let's
to go. I think it has to
And
go
then
all the way
put-
from the
and then
ground up.
put
I don't think there's a choice
Then
there.
do this. Then put a lock on the darn thing so they can't get in.
Oh yeah,
Triple lock.
Those locks.
And
that'll
then
keep
you
people
get
out.
some patrol. You get some police out there.
There you go.
Making sure that
the
no
copper
one's.
police.
I mean, is that not kind of obvious? Look, there's a guy in a bucket truck cutting copper from the light. You're right there on the interstate where thousands of cars are driving by.
Them math addicts are wily. You got to be careful.
Ridiculous.
Wily math addicts.
I'm a little suspicious of that.
Mm-hmm. Here's a freaky story coming to us out of Cornelius, Oregon. Man is facing several charges after an attempted kidnapping at a store last Sunday, just before 8 p.m. on December the 21st. Washington County authorities responded to the Walmart on North Adair Street for reports of an attempted kidnapping. 911 caller said a man armed with a knife tried to take a child out of his stroller in the store. Sheriff's office said the father was able to stop the man from taking the child out of the stroller, but was hurt during the confrontation. The severity of his injuries not provided. During the struggle, the suspect reportedly pulled out a knife but dropped it. The suspect then ran from the store, leapt into a Jeep, and witnesses were able to provide authorities with a license plate number. Washington County Sheriff's Office said the suspect was identified as the Jeep's registered owner, 37-year-old Dennis Villalobos of Cornelius. Might be Villalobos. That might be a better way to say that. Villalobos was found a short distance from the Walmart by a Forest Grove police officer and arrested. He was booked into the Washington County Jail. On Monday, a Washington County grand jury indicted Villalobos on attempted kidnapping, assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and menacing.
Was this guy maybe high on something?
He actually attempted 2 other kidnappings earlier in the week, apparently. Had 2 other arrests for harassment and trespassing weeks before the attempted kidnapping. So, I think you're dealing with a pedophile here who was trying to grab a child.
Or selling
Dad
the
stopped
child
him.
to somebody.
And is thankfully not
You know?
good at it.
Yeah.
No.
Fortunately, very
terrible.
bad.
Let me just tell you something. If I'm mama and I got a stroller and my baby's in that stroller and you think you're going to take that baby out of the stroller, oh, it's on. It is. I don't care what happens to me. You can do whatever, but you're not taking that child
That's
anywhere.
why you got to strap the baby into the stroller.
Right.
Make
So-
sure it's locked down really good.
Then
and
he goes
tight.
with the stroller. and
That's
the
right.
baby.
Then he can take the
Just
whole
take the
stroller.
whole thing.
Take
See ya.
everything. Yeah.
But there is going to be an all-out.
Yeah.
You are going to get pummeled.
Knock down,
And I
drag
don't.
out
I
brawl.
don't care if I'm
Yeah.
stabbed. I don't care if I'm shot. I don't care. I'm going to do everything to defend and make sure you're not leaving this store with
One
my
would
child.
assume what you would do that for your child. Yes, you
Uh-huh.
might do
my
that
dog.
for someone
I do
else's
that for
child.
my dog.
Oh, me too. I do it.
I
for
did
my,
it one time. I broke a finger over trying to protect my dog from another dog. Carrying it through a carport was about to kill it, and I was like, "Oh no, you won't." So I know how I would respond to somebody, and I'm sure that's what this guy said. I don't care if you got a knife. You're not taking this child. What's wrong with you that you would do that?
You obviously have serious mental issues.
I mean, you're in a public place like Walmart.
Yeah. I don't know what the thought process was there. I can't even imagine what goes into the brain of somebody who says, "I'm going to go grab that kid out of the stroller and run off with him."
And hopefully there were people around to assist this guy too, because I would
Well, there
I
weren't-
would I would probably jump in and help. This
I can tell you
guy.
this: there weren't any Walmart employees around.
No, they weren't. They're too busy with that blue jacket.
there may have been some other people.
The, the greeter might have been there.
That's right. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, let me
Old-
help you out the door.
Older guy there.
Uh-huh.
It is a long way from the store to the door. I mean, no matter where you are in the store, thinking you're going to grab that kid out of the stroller and turn and make a run for it, and you're going to get all the way to the door, and no one is going to stop you. You got to have a head full of bad wiring to
You
think
sure
that's
do.
going to happen. And by the way, the kid's going to be kicking and screaming every step of the way because he doesn't want to go with you for the most part, it's safe to say.
Well, and again, this happened in Oregon. I always say something like this happens in Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're not even getting 5 feet out the door.
The amount of gunfire that would be involved would
Be
be
like,
prodigious,
Put the baby down.
to say the least.
Put the baby down, or I'm going to shoot you.
I think it would be shooting first and then put the baby down.
Well, maybe one or both. I don't. Especially if he had a knife.
We know.
There's nothing to even discuss. Then you got a knife, and I got a
that's right,
gun.
that's right.
It's over for you, Buster.
Done. Finito. It's as good as over, mister. Yeah.
But
that's
again,
freaky.
it makes you, and a few people have been interviewed about this story. It makes you understand that you really do. You got to have your head on a swivel, and you've got to constantly. And it's unfortunate that we are living in this time where even going to Walmart, you got to be careful. You've got to know where your child is. You've got to protect that child and yourself.
Yep.
Because things like this happen to adults as well.
There's bad people out there. They still exist, and you got to keep your eye out. I'm not sure. The belief here is that there's not more of this going on than there was when we were kids. It's just because of the internet we can see it. Like if this had happened in 1970, we would have no way of hearing about this happening in Oregon.
Yeah.
Now, because of the World Wide Web, we find out about it within a matter of days. Like, oh, this guy tried to grab somebody in Oregon. So I don't know that there's more of it going on. I just know that it's, it seems more likely or more.
It's more prevalent.
Yeah, prevalent. That's
Yeah.
the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
That just because we happen to get the stories a whole lot more often. That's all. 8:16 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Mr. Bugs knows what bugs you, and that is usually insects, although it could be small rodents. You don't know. If you've got a small rodent problem in your home, and the weather starts to get a little bit colder here, and what's going to happen is they're going to start moving into your crawl space. They're going to want to live in your basement. They're going to find a little place where they can hole up. Sometimes they'll get into the garage. You don't want that because you got stuff in your garage that they could feasibly do some damage to, and then they're breeding, and no, thank you. This is where Mr. Bugs comes in. They do the small rodent control. They do the insect control, obviously, the pest control. And they also do termite bonding. And then when spring comes, mosquito reduction, too. They bundle it all together at a great low price. They're statewide. They know their stuff. They're so good at what they do. I've been with them for 8, almost 9 years now, and there is no going back. Once you've been to Mr. Bugs, everybody else is second best. MRBUGGS.com, MrBugs.com. They know what bugs you. Locally, the number is 941-6252. Oh, God. Mm. Eesh. You know I hate that song, Steve. You know I
No!
hate it.
Come on, Undercover Angel.
He knows.
Why do you think I play it?
That's just to irritate Richard.
You're doing a good job of it. Well done.
What?
By the way, have you heard, just as an aside, the latest in shows with really terrible season enders, series enders, series finales? I'm hearing nothing but bad things about Stranger Things.
Really?
I haven't seen it yet. That's on my agenda either today or tomorrow.
I haven't watched.
Well, maybe take it
any-
off your agenda if that's the case.
Well,
I mean, I've only got the
the
two. I've only got the one that dropped Christmas Day and the one in the finale that dropped New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I might as well go ahead and complete it,
Oh, I
and then I
agree.
can give you the full report.
Yeah, you want to see them just so that you feel like you've completed something. You feel I accomplished something. I watched everything.
Accomplished something.
You ever run a marathon? No, but I did Stranger Things marathon once.
Oh,
Watched all the way
that's
through
your-
it.
not-
Wasn't easy. I almost
No,
gave
I'm
up in the
sure.
middle. Got a second burst of
That's
energy.
really
made it through.
sad. Come on, it's a new year. Can we not have bigger aspirations?
I don't know, man. Anytime I run across these things, you go like, this series has been on for a really long time. You know, Game of Thrones had this really disappointing ending. Lost had this really disappointing ending. Now this is the latest one that people are just like, oh, what?
See, I'm so glad I cut Lost early.
Oh.
I'm so proud of myself.
I'm glad I never
Like,
started on
3
Stranger
in,
Things.
and
Yeah, I
I was
never
like,
started on
this
that
isn't
either.
going. I don't feel good about this. I'm out.
I did the same thing with The Walking Dead. I was just like 3-4 seasons, and I was like, I'm done with you people. You never go anywhere.
You're
you never
wasting
do
my
anything.
time.
Yeah, stop it.
It's nothing more frustrating.
8:22 with Dixon and Vining.
All right, call my good friend David Fevet and the guys at B-Drive. You are having an issue with waterproofing or foundation cracks, things like that going on around your home. And maybe it was one of those things you discovered as you were putting up some Christmas lights outside of your home. You were walking around the outside of the house or maybe taking the lights down. You went, ooh, what is that right there? Cracking in the foundation is not a good thing, and it never resolves itself. If anything, it can certainly get worse. But there is a resolution to this. It is B-Dry. Call these guys. Why? In business over 60 years, all across central Alabama. They see it. They see it happens. Sometimes when homes have this issue, they know how to get in there and fix the foundation. That's what they do. Waterproofing, too. If you find out you've got a little bit of moisture in the crawl space or basement of your home and you're like, I know that's not supposed to be there, these guys will come and take care of it. They've got a budget-friendly solution for you. No payments for 12 months. Ask them about that. Ask them for a free quote on the project to get it done. You can easily do that right now. Get online. Go to BDryAlabama.com, or here's the number for B-Dry, 205-942-1976.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
It was an interesting day yesterday. Tim Walz announcing that he is not going to seek re-election as governor of Minnesota. Well, I think he's on the right track with that. On the heels of an announcement that we learned that 2,000 federal agents sent to Minneapolis to do a deep dive on the large-scale fraud that is going on with the daycare centers and other businesses that are laundering fronts pretty much for the Somali community. I mean, this is massive what is going on there. Hey, and Minnesota may not be the only place that this is going on.
No.
So they're going to take a hard look at what's going on there and then begin to maybe peel that onion back and look a little further in some other places in our country. What in the world is going on? So the operation includes hundreds of Homeland Security investigation agents. They've got 1,500 ICE enforcement, removal operations officers. It is a big project. Tim Walz, of course, running for re-election. The question is, how much of this did Tim Walz know about? Was he blind to all of it, or did he just say, I know this is going on, I want to be reelected, so I'm going to look the other way and let it continue on? So
That's a fair question. How hands-on would the governor be with handling things like this fraud? My guess would be not that much, but more than 90 people, mostly from Minnesota's large Somali community, have been charged since 2022 in what has been described as the nation's largest COVID-era scheme. By the way, over 50 of them have now been convicted. So you got 90 people charged and 50 people convicted. And at some point you would think, okay, how did we not catch this sooner? And why did this not become a national story until recently? Nick Shirley had to go out. This was the guy that he had a helper, someone named Dave. I can't think of his last name. But he went out to each one of these so-called daycares on film was knocking on the doors. Hey, I'd like to enroll my child. And these people were like, we're very full. We don't have any room for You don't have any kids here.
There's none.
It's not a daycare. That's why I can't enroll my child, because you're scamming the public. This Dave guy had done all the research. He's an older gentleman. Nick is the guy who decided he wanted to go on camera and expose this. And he's taking a lot of heat for it, too, because there are people out there. They're upset. How dare you expose that fraud?
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, Tim, don't remember when everyone said, the left, the Democrats, no one is above the law. Remember when President Trump was going through all of those cases? It was like, guess what, Tim? No one is above the law, and it applies to Democrats and people like you as well. So just hang on there. We'll see as they dig in and do further investigation where this thing leads, but it feels like it's going to be massive. Real busy day in New York yesterday. Former dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, arrived in federal court for his arraignment on drug trafficking and weapons charges. His wife there as well. He pleaded not guilty, of course, to these charges. The 4 charges are like narco-terrorism, cocaine import, et cetera, et cetera. They are in a jail and will be back in court March 17th. They will remain there until that time. Pam Bondi last night saying that Maduro and other defendants could face charges in other places as well. So this may be just the very beginning, the tip of the iceberg, so to say, for Nicolas Maduro. But I know that there's a lot of Venezuelans that are happy about this. This dictator who did not win the last election stayed in power, shouldn't have been in power, and Venezuela is really gone down the tubes, and it could be flourishing. So let's hope that happens. The U.S. right now kind of not necessarily running things, but making sure that things move in a direction that we don't have another dictator in place, and to kind of oversee what's going on with the oil in Venezuela.
It does prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that socialists will destroy a country just to rule over the ashes, because Venezuela was at one time a thriving representative republic, we'll call it. I was going to say democracy, but that's not true. And Hugo Chavez and Maduro both, kind of combined to destroy it piece by piece. But as long as they were in charge, it didn't matter that it was a hellhole,
Yeah.
They just wanted to make sure that they maintained control, and that's what Maduro was continuing to do here, to the point where the only way to fund the country was through narco-terrorism, because they couldn't run the oil industry, and that's what they were doing for cash. And they were basically using the United States as a cash cow by selling the drugs to people in the U.S. who were killing themselves with them. Yeah, it's over now.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that
good
nice?
news. Yes.
It is very good news.
Yeah.
And again, taking out the boats and the narco terrorists that were trying to bring the drugs over. Maduro now in custody, and that might be the first place. I mean, Cuba's a bit of a problem. Colombia's a bit of a problem. We can name some others as well, and whether Donald Trump and his administration will go further with this, or is it just Maduro that they wanted to go after? We'll see.
I've always had problems with New Jersey. Can we do something about them?
With New Jersey.
Yes.
How about Minnesota?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And finally a local business, Milo's Tea, ceasing operations. They have a Homewood facility. It is shut down. The company says that about half of the positions at the facility were moved to the Bessemer facility. About 38 workers were not kept. The reason for the shutdown, they said, was they're kind of redirecting needed equipment and investments to their other sites that have more modern infrastructure, and that will help them to grow. So they're just kind of doing away with, I think that Homewood facility is kind of small compared to some of the other ones. They've got a facility also in South Carolina. So they just decided, hey, let's shut this down and we can move it to other places, and Bessemer is where they went.
I wonder how expensive it was as well in Homewood. Things are a little more expensive in Homewood.
Yeah, a little bit.
Trying to manufacture there was causing a problem. I don't know. But they're out now, and Bessemer wins. Congratulations. You got yourself a nice data center and a Milo's bottling company. You should be very proud. 8:30 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. Your thoughts always welcome. 545-9950. Drop us a line there and visit us on TV, youtube.com, Real Talk 995 TV. I want to make sure I'm there for that. I think it's going to be good. I try
good
never to
times.
miss that show.
Yeah, do
If
you?
I can avoid it. 8:35. Pardon. Dixon Inviting, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. This is what comes from being out of practice of the talking for 4 hours every day. My voice just begins to fade right about 8:30. And I somehow managed to stumble to 10 o'clock.
You'll be all right.
Then I don't say anything the rest of the day.
Really?
Yeah, I don't speak at all. It works.
It does.
Who am I going to talk to?
Really? You
The
don't
dogs?
say anything?
Of course
All day.
I talk to myself all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm the one who listens, so I may as well.
Do you answer back?
All the time,
Oh, okay.
pretty regularly. Yeah. Let me ask you if you've ever heard this, the definition of insanity being continuing to do the same thing over and over again while expecting different results.
Yes.
Well, that is exactly what happens when people use listing agents for selling their property. It happens consistently. You go get yourself a listing agent, and then they take a gander, a guess, a stab, if you will, at what they think your property should be priced at. I was looking at some properties yesterday, and I said, oh, I know that's not right. I was looking at the numbers that I was like, I know that's not right. You're not even close in the ballpark with that thing. So then what happens is it sits there, it languishes on the market because you priced it too high, and then you have to lower the price by how much? $5,000? You think that's going to make a difference? $8,000? Is that going to make a difference? How many times do you have to lower the price before finally you start getting people interested in it? And then people begin looking at it going, well, what's wrong with that piece of property? How come it's been on the market so long and they keep lowering the price? It is a self-fulfilling prophecy that is not something you want to be a part of. On the other hand, if you stop trying to sell something and you let somebody come and buy it from you instead, now you're in business. This is what Granger Thagard Auction Marketing does. Brings together a group of qualified buyers, no contingencies, cash in hand, bidding against each other for the right to own your property. When they say they're going to get your property under contract in 40 days, concluding with a bidding war over price with zero contingencies and the buyers paying the closing costs, then suddenly it makes sense. Now you've drifted out of the insanity realm. And that is exactly what Granger Thagard Auction Marketing does. GTauctions.com to find out more about a new way to sell your property in a new year. 2026 is your year. Granger Thagard Auction Marketing, GTauctions.com. Get on it. Jake Paul has been suspended indefinitely following his knockout loss in Miami to Anthony Joshua. Did anybody see this, by the way?
Did not.
I watched a little bit of it. It was on Netflix, I believe. And I'm not really used to watching like live things on Netflix, so I was like, well, let me go check this out and see what gives with this. Turns out I missed it. I was late, but they were rerunning it, or I guess it was on demand at that point. And then I found out, here's where the knockout took place, and I just kind of skipped right to it. Saved myself a lot of trouble. You know, once you know the end score, you don't really want to watch it anymore. There's not much point in it. But I think, first off, anytime somebody gets his jaw broken in the ring, as Jake Paul did,
Gosh.
they suspend you because they don't want you getting in the ring and hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, I think some of the comments that he made afterward about how a couple of days later he started talking about, we're going to have a real bout where I'm not paid to take a dive, or, you know, somehow that he took the money and ran and, you know, took a dive in some capacity. I'm thinking, that's not how that works, Jake. You don't get your jaw broken when you take a dive.
No.
You take a dive before your jaw gets broken.
Mm-hmm. That's usually what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. You don't really want to end up in the hospital with plates in your head as a result. But he did get paid an insane amount of money, something like $92 million.
Wow.
To go into the ring with Anthony Joshua and get beaten up. And he was doing okay. It was pretty obvious that Joshua was the better fighter throughout the course of what I was able to see.
Could you at $92 million just say, okay, I'm done. I broke my jaw. I'm done.
I would.
Yeah.
That'd be me. I think I'd say it before I broke my jaw. I'd just be like, $92 million. You know what? Never mind. We're not fighting. Why are we fighting? What are we fighting over? As Bert Sugarman always used to say, if it's an undisputed title, what are they fighting over?
Yeah, I'm looking right now at an image of the X-ray, and that's ugly.
It's ugly.
It is really ugly.
Not good. It's not a
Ooh.
good look, man.
Nope.
He got walloped pretty hard, and you would say really back in the day we would call it a TKO because he never really was unconscious, but he was definitely out of it. You could see the no sale thing come up in his eyes like in the cartoons, you know? And I love a good boxing match. I mean, I used to love boxing when I was growing up. I'd always watch it on ABC's Wide World of Sports whenever Muhammad Ali was boxing, when Ken Norton was boxing, Gene Cooney. You know, there'd be some people that I was really enthralled by and would watch with great regularity. Sweet Science, they called it, especially when Howard Cosell was doing the play-by-play. You could
Pretty
count on
good.
it being.
Miss me some Howard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Part of me, and I know I'll get some of you going, I can't believe he said that. All that we know now with head injuries and boxing, sometimes I think it's time to move on from it. And I know people say, well, it's a great sport in boxing. I love boxing. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but we know what happens, the brain injuries that happen with boxing. And I guess if you're willing to take that risk and you're not worried about later on in life,
Little CTE.
a lot of CTE, you're willing to do that.
I didn't
don't
even
know.
have to get the knowledge on brain injuries to look at two guys beating each other senseless and go,
That's
that
not
can't be
good.
good for you.
No.
That can't be.
really
I don't
not.
care how big the gloves are.
I don't care if you're wearing a helmet.
You're able
I don't
to
care if you
knock-
have one of those NFL helmets
Right.
that they're wearing now, the big
puffy
one.
ones, yeah.
I don't even care if you have that on. I don't think that even makes
The
a
goal is
difference.
to knock the other guy out. And by the way, UFC, not better.
I was about to say UFC, MMA, pretty much the same thing.
Oh, worse, really, because
in a
you're-
lot of ways, yeah.
You're literally able to take a guy down to the ground and pound on him until he taps out. You're like, we're grounding and pounding a dude. That's not okay. What are we doing here? And yet I love it. I can't help myself. I do.
Voyeur.
Yeah. I think there's a
I
lot
want
of
to watch this guy get pounded.
there's a lot of catharsis in there, isn't there? You feel like see that one guy who's getting beaten up? Pretend he's the dude who tried to take a kid out of the stroller. There you go.
Is that what you did?
Makes you feel better.
Does it?
It does. Yeah. I by the way, I got to give some props to Jake Paul. Jake Paul started off as an internet goofball sensation and then decided that he was going to
He's going to
actually
take it seriously.
Yeah, he was going to enter the ring and actually attempt to do some real fighting. And
became a winning goofball boxer.
yeah, he could have half-assed it and just done it for clicks and whatever. But he
like the Mike Tyson fight.
yeah, I think the Tyson fight was questionable. I really
Highly.
do. Yeah. I mean, I watched it and I was like, I don't think Mike is really fighting this guy. I don't think he's really putting the effort in. I think this was rigged ahead of time. But
Mike was there to get a paycheck.
But I guarantee you this Anthony Joshua fight was real. I watched it. I watched enough of it to know that they were really wailing on each other, and Jake Paul was trying his best, and he lost, and he lost fair and square, and I hope they have a rematch. I'd watch it if they do a rematch because watching two guys beat each other up is just, it's homoerotic is what I'm trying to say.
Really?
Okay, then.
No.
You're not watching Top Gun.
Funny that
Wow.
that's where your head went. Isn't it funny that that's right where your head went?
Every time I hear that, I'm like,
Sure.
that's the movie that
Well, of
comes to
course.
mind because that's what
yeah.
everybody says.
Oh, come on. You got shirtless guys playing volleyball. I'll be your wingman. Okay. Here's another story from out of nowhere. Mortgage and housing commentator Raymond Echtier, speaking on his Raymond Real Talk channel, starts with a number that feels almost too small for the story he's about to tell. He says a double-double cost $5.90, $6 at In-N-Out, the most iconic burger joint in California history. Then he drops the real headline in his own blunt words. The billionaire owner, Lindsay Snyder, just said, I'm done. Says she's moving to Tennessee, packing up her family, and leaving California behind after 4 generations of loyalty. Raymond frames it as a turning point because this wasn't some outside company that never cared about the state. And his telling In-N-Out was the last true holdout, the most California brand you could think of, and now even that thread is being pulled loose. Why? Billionaire tax.
Ha
Billionaire tax that would cost Lindsay $453 million if she stayed. By the way, she is one of the most under-the-radar billionaires in America. Most people don't know her name. She does not flash it. She quietly runs the company, and she does run it. It was handed down to her through generations. She's quite judicious with her management of it. And this is living proof, this moving to Tennessee. It's like we're still going to have stores in California. We're not going to stop selling burgers in California. But it's about time we expand into America's Southland where they know how to treat businesses, you know? So, yeah,
Amen.
they're moving to Franklin, Tennessee.
And then you can come to Birmingham.
Yep. And one of
That
the
would be
reasons
nice.
one of the reasons they weren't able to come here before now, and we've discussed this before, but a lot of people don't know, they don't freeze their meat, so they have to have warehouses of meat available that is chilled that they can get to their locations fairly quickly. And there's no way to get that chilled meat across the country in a rapid enough form to be able to get it into the hands of restaurants all over the Southeast. Now that they're going to start doing that out of Nashville, Tennessee, you can expect, at the very least, you'll see it in Huntsville soon.
Mm-hmm. I would think so.
I would think Birmingham
It's
will
just
have
a matter
one or
of
two.
time. We'll get it.
And I've never had one before. And Steve says, they're. I assume it's one of those, if you grew up with it, you love it, like White Castle for me
you.
and White Palace for you. And
Probably.
Royal
yeah.
Castle.
Royal
that's all right.
Castle. Yeah. There were so many different White Castle knockoffs that
Yeah,
it's
it
hard
really
to remember
was.
them all.
There's only one left in Miami.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
It's still there.
And it was a huge one. As I read I watched the history of White Castle. They were the first real fast food company in America. I did not know that until I saw the food.
Yeah,
that
you would
made
have thought
America.
Burger King or McDonald's.
Exactly. No, White Castle predated them by over 20 years. And then suddenly you had all these knockoffs. You had the Royal Palace. You had the White Dwarf, whatever it was. Suddenly everybody and their brother was opening up,
Right.
a
A
restaurant
little square
that
burger with onions.
looked a little bit like a White Castle, but not really. They were just kind of dupe you.
Crystal.
Crystal, of course. Still say White Castle. You could open up here anytime.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
I'm ready to go.
Come on.
Yeah. And then it'd be a time to choose sides.
Yeah, that would be a tough one.
The
huh?
only argument worse than Auburn versus Alabama
Would
would
be
be
Crystal
White
versus-
Castle
oh,
versus
my
Crystal.
gosh.
Or just make it easy on yourself, White Castle. Buy out Crystal.
There you go. Count me in. 846 with Dixon Dividing. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Stick around. 8:50, Talk 99.5. Talk995.com. Dixon and Vining here with you. We're going to be here until 10, and then we're splitting, and we'll hand things off to Andrew Skippy McLean
Skippy!
on the line.
Hey, now.
Did you know that he did a New Year's Eve podcast? Like he did like a video
I think I
New
knew
Year's Eve
that.
podcast?
Uh-huh.
To me, that just says, I have nothing better to do on New Year's Eve. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, or that you would even think of that. You're like, here I am celebrating New Year's Eve. Why don't I do a podcast?
I think the only thing worse than doing the podcast is the people who are stuck at home watching it, going like, I have nothing better to do than watch Andrew do a podcast. It's New Year's Eve, guys. Get out, live a little.
Have a glass of champagne.
Come on.
Toast.
The Alabama Men's Clinic would like to tell you that TikTok time is short. Things are not going to improve on their own if you are moving slow, if you are dragging, if you are unhappy with your level of energy. It could very well be low T, and low T can be fixed. It can be fixed with a variety of different options, and one of the best ways to do that is to get to the Alabama Men's Clinic and talk to them about what's going on in your life. They will go ahead, draw some blood, give you a testosterone check, give you a number before you leave on that initial consultation, $99, and then they'll talk to you about the variety of options that they have for you to get your testosterone back up where it needs to be. If you're struggling with ED, they've got a variety of options for that as well. Hair loss, weight loss, you name it. Men is their middle name, the Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000. Isn't it time that you started having a better life? Take matters into your own hands and make the call, 598-7000. Or reach them online, alabamamensclinic.com. You can make an appointment in under 30 seconds right there. This is a story of heroics gone wrong. The best laid plans of mice and men oft gang agley. That's the actual line there. I don't know what the hell it means, but it sounds to me like...
You said it well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds to me like you can have the best of intentions and things still go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a perfect example of that. A USPS driver, U.S. Post Office, was arrested after he allegedly tried to run over a 10-year-old with his vehicle.
What's the matter with you?
FHP, Escambia County, Florida Highway Patrol, said troopers responded to Sacred Heart on December 27th in reference to a child being struck by a vehicle on Kingfisher Way and Kingfisher Court. Investigators said they learned that William White, a USPS driver, had dropped a package off at the wrong home. The child, whose family owns the residence, realized it was the wrong address, recovered the package, placing it on his scooter to take it to the correct address. Officials said White thought the child was stealing the package and drove his USPS vehicle toward the child, running over his scooter. The child was able to get away in a nearby yard before the scooter was struck. White then grabbed the scooter, placed it in his vehicle before tossing it in a nearby yard after a family member of the child went to confront him. Officials said White was interviewed and arrested on Wednesday, December 31st, after he returned to work. Jail records show White is charged with aggravated assault, criminal mischief, and petty theft. I don't think
Are we believing the story that he believed the child was stealing the package? Do we really believe that?
Well, do you think he was just attempting to run a kid
I
over
don't
for
know.
no good reason?
I just some doesn't sound right with his story.
It makes sense to me. I mean, if you put a package
how
there...
How stupid are you? Why are you going to... I understand. If you believe the child stole the package, call the police.
Yeah, don't
Why are you running
along.
a child over? You could have killed the child.
Or just stop and confront the kid, you know?
Whatever.
You don't have to hit him with your USPS vehicle, which, by the way, they're tiny. I think maybe he could have lost that battle with a scooter. Have you seen him?
I have seen him.
Little tiny white trucks. Yeah. I don't know. I certainly would. And the fact that the kid basically had to jump off the scooter to get away and the scooter got run over tells you that this dude wasn't going to stop. He takes his job very seriously.
I'm not sure that he should be driving a USPS vehicle to begin with.
Super mail
You're
carrier.
Super dangerous.
He takes his job extra seriously.
Well, get the cape off this guy because he doesn't know what he's doing.
I see someone trying to steal a package. It's my duty to run them over and take that package back where it belongs. You think that's wrong? I like.
What are you thinking?
I appreciate the go get it attitude that he had. Yeah,
you probably lost your job over this. Does it say he lost his job?
He's a union employee. He's not losing his job.
He should lose his job.
They're probably going to promote him. They're probably going to kick him
promote
upstairs.
Him?
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the parent. I may be filing charges against this guy.
Speaking of which, as one of the guys, charges have been filed. I mean, obviously.
Good.
Yeah. was arrested after he returned to work. He was charged with a whole bunch of stuff.
Attempted murder.
That's way up there. Speaking of which, as somebody who still occasionally uses stamps, and my Winn-Dixie closed, that's where I used to buy my stamps.
Yeah.
Do I actually have to go to the post office now to get them?
You can
or
go
is
to
it-
Sam. You can go to. I think Publix maybe too. I know Costco
Publix
sells
sell
them.
Well,
maybe
I don't
Sam
have a
sells
Costco
them?
membership.
Oh, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not the calendar, it's stamps. What do you need, Richard?
I need the calendar.
Let's get a hold of Jonathan.
about the-
Jonathan can help
We
us.
talked about the calendar before.
They sold out of that calendar.
Yeah,
There
well, you
was
didn't
no-
even try.
I couldn't
Thanks for
carry it out
nothing.
of the store. It was too big.
Thanks for nothing,
It's
friend.
like 6 feet tall and
Yes.
3 feet wide.
I know. That's why I wanted
Like,
it.
look at that lady carrying that big old calendar out of
Uh-huh.
the store.
Yet you had no trouble carrying a big screen TV out. I see how things are.
Oh, I had help.
Oh, yeah, but you couldn't get help for the
I
calendar?
couldn't get help. No one would help me. And then I went back and they sold out. That's
Yeah.
my story, and I'm sticking
All
to
right,
it.
good. You do that. Next
What,
year.
what did I
You
say,
see?
Steve? They wanted for that thing like $300,
Like
$185.
$185.
Can't
It's
beat
like,
that.
what?
Very
It's
reasonable.
got chocolate in it.
All right. Yes, you
And
could
some
go to the post office if you choose to, but Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, they all carry it. Office Depot right over here on Green Springs, they have them.
Walgreens. I'm at Walgreens far too often for my taste. I can tell you that.
Well, need to
Maybe
ask them about some stamps then.
Ask them about some stamps and buy them.
Have you thought about Amazon Pharmacy?
Yeah, I don't want to use Amazon Pharmacy. I've told you, if your pills show up and you're too short, I can actually just go right to Walgreens and go, hey, you guys shorted me
You
two
send
pills
it
here.
back.
What's the
You
story?
can send it right back to
Yeah,
Amazon.
okay, yeah, send it all the way back to Amazon and then not have my pills at all. And then I go out in a 2-minute shake
Okay,
with my epileptic
I'll
seizure.
give you an example.
Because I didn't get the pills.
I had some Amazon medicine
Mm-hmm.
sent through the mail. The packaging was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
I got in touch with Amazon, told them about the damaged package, and they said, we'll have the medicine out to you in 24 hours. Just keep what we sent.
Uh-huh. So you're getting double the medicine now. Sounds to me like you're ripping people off here. Are you a drug addict? Tell me the truth.
Trying to help you, Richard.
Are you all hopped up on pills?
I'm just
You're
telling
hopped
you.
up on goofballs
There's
right now, aren't you?
We were having a discussion, a manager's meeting yesterday about this. Somebody was like, yeah, I go to Walgreens. Yeah, I go to... I was like, does anybody in here use Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how easy that is? It just shows up, the little truck. Bing, 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 bing.
That's what the truck sounds like?
Here's your medicine.
think
Your
like
Amazon
a pig.
driver has sonar?
It sounds like that when that truck backs up the driveway. I told you, they back up the driveway.
Well, sure.
And I've got a ridiculous driveway. I'm like, how are you doing that?
They got to be
don't
able
know.
to. They got to make a getaway from the woman who's hopped up on goofballs there in the house, just in case
Mountain
she
Dew.
comes out. If she's
I'm
frothing
just
at the
saying
mouth.
they're very helpful. It's not like, oh, we'll send that back to us and it'll be a week before we can get it to you. They're like, oh, well, sorry that you got some damaged
Do
packaging.
you still get a 30-day supply or get a 90-day supply?
I think it's 90.
Because you don't know.
I don't know.
You're clearly not counting the pills. That
no,
worries
I'm
me.
clearly not.
How many pills are you on
I
right
trust
now?
Amazon. Me and Jeff are tight.
You.
I told you that he makes sure that every package that gets delivered to my house is
Yep.
exactly right.
Oh, sure. Exactly.
That's right.
That's why they have damaged goods and they have to
Mhm.
send you new ones.
Well, he didn't have anything to do with that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, giving Jeff
the
a pass.
process.
Giving Jeff a pass on that. I see how
Sure.
things are.
Uh-huh.
They do have a system here that they'll say, like, we'll send you a 90-day supply. I don't trust any farther than I
Just
can
try
throw.
it. Just
No.
try it. You can
No.
cancel it if you don't like it.
Uh,
But I'm telling you, not having to go down and is a pharmacy? Oh, the pharmacy isn't open.
I don't want to tick Walgreens off.
Sir, do you know? Can you sign this? Do you know how much to take? Have you ever taken this before?
I'm on
Can
good
we have
terms.
your blood type?
I'm on good terms with Walgreens right now. I don't want to tick them off. They're
Life's so much simpler.
very, very scary people.
Just try
over
it.
there at the
Amazon
Walgreens.
Pharmacy.
No, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Plus, I can't get stamps there. I can apparently get them at Walgreens.
I bet you could get them at Amazon. Have you tried it?
I'm going to ask Amazon
I
to
bet
send me
Amazon.
stamps.
I bet Amazon sells stamps.
I'll double check. We'll see.
Want to bet me?
No.
I don't want to help out the United States Postal Service.
9 o'clock with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5. More of this kind of scintillating conversation coming your way in the next hour. Plus, Steve's turn. Don't go away.